Hey there, it's your boy Nate, and it's time for more building. Today we'll be building an Oasis in that hole behind me there, made using perfectly sensible methods. Yeah, maybe I went a little overboard, but that's beside the point. Let's get straight to it. Okay, firstly we're going to need to fill in this hole. Much better. Okay, so what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to, of course, start to fill this in with the next layer. Okay, so it's highly likely that if you're building a Oasis in Minecraft, it's not going to be in a temperate or otherwise warm biome aside from a desert or a mesa. But that means we are not going to be using the usual sand style. We're going to be flipping our usual style for a more grassy theme of the shore, which is something we also have a tutorial out for, and I will link that in the description. Now what we'll be doing this time is we're going to start with the moss blocks, which will transition to grass later using our usual style. But the reason we're using the moss blocks is because it has the multiple sides that if we were to place a grass block right here, you can see how well it blends. So next up, we're going to, of course, layer in the coarse dirt once we have it all the way to the edge. So bring it all the way to the edge, and then once it's there, we can add in our coarse dirt, which will be the next layer, and it will go all the way to the edge on each time. Okay, so it's highly likely that if you're building a Oasis in Minecraft, it's not going to be in a temperate or otherwise warm biome aside from a desert or a mesa. But that means we are not going to be using the usual sand style. We're going to be flipping our usual style for a more grassy theme of the shore, which is something we also have a tutorial out for, and I will link that in the description. Now what we'll be doing this time is we're going to start with the moss blocks, which will transition to grass later using our usual style. But the reason we're using the moss blocks is because it has the multiple sides that if we were to place a grass block right here, you can see how well it blends. So next up, we're going to, of course, layer in the coarse dirt once we have it all the way to the edge. So bring it all the way to the edge, and then once it's there, we can add in our coarse dirt, which will be the next layer, and it will go all the way to the edge on each time. Alright, there we go. There is our unfilled oasis without the water. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, of course, do the next step, which is, see how it just looks pretty flat along the edges? So what we would be doing is we're going to knock out a bit of things here and there. And eventually, you'll see this will look like in a sec. Something I tend to do a lot when I'm building, especially along any area that needs a transition sort of thing. And you do this, and it basically just transitions everything together, like so. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that all the way around, like this. Alright, there we go. So now we have that. You can see what it looks like overall. So we of course need to add water to it, but we'll be doing that in a minute. So we will also want to go ahead and make sure we have stonework set down. Now, we have multiple saved hotbars right here, which is why we're doing the water last, and as well as the trees, but right now, an oasis is probably going to have both rocks and plant life. So, by scattering a few of these around, just random custom boulders, you may want to add leaves to it as well. You can easily just improve the appearance of this. So let's just add 2 more real quick. Alright, and there we go. We got the rocks and we got the water in place. So now what we need to do is we need to get to work on trees. Now for an oasis, you're probably going to be adding palms and bushes. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a bit of oak. Now you may wonder why oak, why not something like jungle? Well, you can easily do those too, But for this case, because I just like oak, we're going to be doing oak. But we're going to be turning this into a palm tree, so we're going to, of course, build it upwards, like so. And additionally, we're going to put maybe 4 or 5 of them. So just make them facing different directions. So like this. Probably angle this one to the diagonal a bit. And then what we do after we branch this up. Now, of course, this is the first time I've built this palm on camera, so we're going to just build this whole thing in front of you. So just focus on one real quick. So what we would do is we would build it off to the side, like this, as I constantly place blocks in random spots. So like basically we do this, and then once we have it to the desired height, like so, we would switch to our spruce stairs. And with the spruce stairs, we would do like this, and put it right here as well. Do another one down here, but we probably wouldn't do it here after all. We would put a slab there. And bring it down here. Put a slab. And another one like this, and like this. Bring it up one more. And then after this, we're going to, of course, switch up to our leaves. In this case, we probably want the oak because it'll be brighter in the desert. Or not, but it can still work. So we're going to, of course, want to go out 2, cross 2, and then a down 2. In this scenario, probably want to droop down 1 as well, and then remove this one. And this one also. We would also want to go on a diagonal a few times, and that should do it the trick. Alright, there we go. We got ourselves a few more trees going. So now additionally we want to add some leaves down and other things, just vegetation. So the first thing we would do is we want to focus the leaves more around the rocky areas, and definitely don't place them on top of slabs. It will look real odd because the textures don't connect. So we just put a few down like this. We can just get our leaves down. And then additionally, we can proceed and just make a few bushes here and there. And once we have done with that, we can proceed on to the next thing. Which would be, of course, we want to place a bit of sugarcane and stuff like that. So we got ourselves some cane. Alright, there's the sugarcane. So we just want to put these into groups no larger than 3. Now, additionally, what you probably want to do is you want to put string on top of it. We're not going to do that for the sake of this video, but just in case you ever want to maintain the height of your sugarcane, just know you should probably put some string on top of it. And then we can just go ahead and put the torch flowers down in groups, like this. Why not put a few next to that? And hide a few behind this bush and put a few here. Now you can use whatever flowers or other plants you prefer, but just for the sake of this video, we will be using torch flower. Now here's the trick I really like. So by putting a waterlogged block, specifically a waterlogged block like this, that you can put lily pads around. Let me just quickly place this down. I'm going to put, of course this happens. Okay, we just have to put this right here temporarily, and there we go. Now if we put 4 lily pads around this, without them looks like the direction is inevitable, but we can place them like this, and then place the fire coral down on top of it, or any color coral you choose. So just don't try to go and overdo it. If you overdo it, it will look real funny, but here's what we're gonna do. Will it allow us to just place it right next to it? It sure will. No, it won't? Okay. So we will just place it like so, place one right here, and good to go. There we go. So what do you think of that? We now have the little lily pads down, so we have vegetation. Now what would a oasis be if it was barren? Meaning you don't have any animals. So we're going to solve that right quick. So by simply adding a few things, we can simply fix that issue. We're going to start with frog spawn. Frog spawn is a really easy one we can do. And it will look cool to start off with, and eventually will turn into, good old froggies and tadpoles. And then additionally, we want to add a few fishies. So I would advise using tropical fish if you're going to do a oasis. Reason being, it just matches the vibe. So don't overfill this either, but definitely just put a good number in there. They will school in the game, so there we go. And then place your frog spawn generally in a corner, probably near some of the leaves. Just leave it like that, and we're good to go. Now, I hope you liked this video or found it helpful. If you did, then please consider checking out some of my other videos. It really helps out the channel, and I hope to see you around. And thank you. I'll see you around next time.